Finally, week one of this fantasy football season is here. Hopefully I can help get you caught up to date as to what's going on. I'm Dennis Farrell. It's time for another fantasy selfie. 2014 fantasy football draft season is in the books. There's nothing left but the point scoring. I have some news and notes to help guide you into week one. Wes Welker, as we all know, has been popped for a 4-game suspension, which means he will not return until week 6. They have a bye week. That's what pushes it back a little bit. Cody Lattimore and Andre Caldwell are the two guys you may want to keep an eye out on. I like Lattimore a little bit more. He did have 5 catches for 116 yards and a touchdown in this preseason. Caldwell replaced Welker last season at the end and produced pretty well for 3 catches for 65 yards. Now, I might go out and pick up Lattimore, but I will not start him until I can see what kind of impact he will have on this team. MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew, is still listed as a starting running back for the Raiders organization, despite some discrepancies in website depth chart rankings. I play him as a flex with a lot of confidence. Also, Chris Polk, who's been all but forgotten as a handcuff in Philadelphia. He's one of these guys that was injured all through preseason, but I think that if he's available in your league, you should go pick him up. He is relieving McCoy, and I think he'll be very well rosterable. Also, another quick news and notes here. The he said, she said saga still is going on in New England with Rob Gronkowski and Belichick. Gronkowski says he's ready to go. Belichick says not so fast. I'll say this, no matter what, he will be limited in the snaps he plays. So don't be so quick to play him. If you have another tight end, you may want to throw him in. If not, I wouldn't expect nothing spectacular out of him. He may sneak in for a touchdown, but 50 yards at best. But he will not play every snap. Denard Robinson is now the second-string running back in Jacksonville. I like him a lot. He looked great. Don't forget, Toby Gerhart has had hamstring injuries in the past, which means he could be a little bit viable. Now, I'm not going to pick him up unless I'm in a deep PPR league, but it's definitely a guy you should keep an eye on. Now, matchups. As I said, you probably should play every single high draft pick you get, no matter what the draft matchup is. Number one on my list, of course, is Jordy Nelson versus the Seahawks. Gut reaction is to sit him, but you probably drafted Jordy Nelson in the 3rd round. Why are you going to draft that guy in the 3rd round if already out of the gates you're thinking about matchup plays? I would play him, but I would not be comfortable. Antonio Brown versus Joe Hayden. Now, you think this matchup, Joe Hayden is a lockdown corner, but Antonio Brown has had some success against Joe Hayden in the past. Trent Richardson versus Denver. Trent Richardson's only averaging 2.6 yards a carry, and I've seen him been inserted in a lot of teams' lineups as a flex position player. Hopefully you have better, because I am not starting him one bit. Ryan Matthews versus the Arizona defense. Now you think Ryan Matthews injured. Arizona defense is just amazing, only holding teams at 3.15 yards per carry last season. But to give you an idea that this is a team that has lost Carlos Dansby to free agency, Darrell Washington to a suspension, and Darnell Dockett to an ACL injury for the season. It's not the same defense. I am playing Ryan Matthews with confidence. And in case you've been living under a rock, here is your week 1 lineups. Thursday night game is the Packers at Seattle, New Orleans, Atlanta, Minnesota, St. Louis, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Philadelphia, Oakland, Jets, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Buffalo, Chicago, Washington, Houston, Tennessee, Kansas City, New England, Miami, Carolina, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, Dallas. Your Sunday night game is Indianapolis versus Denver, and you have 2 Monday night games this week, everybody. Giants at Detroit, San Diego at Arizona. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at Dennis77Farrell. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email, Dennis77Farrell@gmail.com. And as always, Hail Hydra.